Folks, have had some people ask me about the photo quality of the new FDR-AX33 camcorder from Sony. So let's jump right in and take a look at what this will do. Now, I'm using Snagit, which does not do the best job in the world of showing you these photos. So, you know, it's like 10 frames per second. It's not the best quality MPEG-4 that it records, so bear that in mind as well. I'm going to post all of these photos that I've shot to my SmugMug account, where you can go look at them and you can really evaluate, download the actual photos. So let's go into Photoshop. This in Bridge is showing us a kind of a low resolution version of what these things look like. Let's take one like this one. Let's double click it. Here we are in Photoshop. So now you can automatically see we've got a little bit, I went back to Bridge by mistake. You can automatically see we've got a little better looking image here. Let's go to actual pixels. So let's do not fit to screen, but 100%. And so I'm going to pull this around a little bit. Now, these are all handheld, so the focus might not be the best in the world because I'm a little shaky, but this gives you an idea of how that image looks. Yeah, to me, once again, it could be me. This was shot early in the morning. I'm a little shaky, but that's a pretty good sized image, and the clarity's pretty nice. That was at 100%. Any of these, you could go up into filter and you could do sharp and an unsharp mask, and of course that's going to make a difference. And I'll take Turner Preview off, and you can see how that's softer and sharper. And most of us do sharpen some of our images, but this is, I have to say, this is a huge image. You can see here it expands out. The JPEG does to 58 megs if it were saved in some sort of like a bitmap type thing. I'm going to do cancel on this. I'm not going to sharpen it. See, image size, just so we'll know what image this thing shoots. It shoots 6048 by 3400. So that's a lot. It's I think roughly 21 megapixel, 20.6 megapixel, I think is what they call it. So let's look at some other ones. That's kind of a boring shot there. I'm going to kind of back off. Here's the same area in the evening with my porch swing. Just take a look at that. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Zoom in on the porch swing itself. Again, if you want to do 100%, that's what you're really getting, and we'll move around just a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of my mind tonight, not thinking and doing the best. So, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, not the sharpest image. Again, handheld. Don't know if it'd make a difference on a tripod or not. I'll do Control-0 and go back out. But I have to say, that's pretty darn usable. I wouldn't feel a bit bad about getting that printed out up to probably a 16 by 20 or something. You have to kind of crop it to get your pixel aspect right, but gee whiz, that's a lot of pixels. And again, let's just take a look at this. Here's something we shot inside. Take a look at my guitars here. God, it's a very satisfying looking photo. The only thing about it is when you start zooming in, you can tell that it's not maybe as good as if you're shooting with a Nikon or something. My Nikon D5100 even shoots a little sharper than that. But that's pretty decent. Decent looking photos. So this is the, I'm going to go to 100%. It is not quite the pixel quality you're going to get with a true Sony. I mean, let's face it, the Sony cameras really look, but from a camcorder, pretty good image. I'm going to back out again. Particularly when you back out, these could be used, I think, I probably, in real life, would not use that image more than about that size. But Lord, that'd be big enough to almost put on a poster. It's a pretty good looking image there. I'm not going to go too far into this. We'll just look a little bit around the garden. Now, it was a bright, sunshiny day. I don't remember it being this overcast looking. So kind of the whites got blown out. I was in the auto mode. I wasn't trying to do anything fancy with this. The other thing I'll say, folks, I couldn't find a way to do camera raw on this in the Sony camcorder, so I don't know if that's even a possibility. But let's do this. Let's take a look at like this bird feeder here. Now that is zoomed in, I think 100% with the Carl Zeiss or Zeiss lens. I always say Zeiss, Z-E-I or Z-I-E-S-S. Usually very excellent lens. So, I think that's still pretty good. That's zoomed in. You can see some artifacts in there. It is shooting a JPEG. I was going to see if I could find it. You know, they're usually, I was going to say how big the JPEGs are. I don't know what the compression on these JPEGs are. They're a pretty big image, and I think they're about 6 megs a piece. I was going to see if I could find those. Actually, here they are. So I'll pull this over. Let's see what the image size out of the camera is. We'll go to details. So yeah, look, so some of the bigger ones are 8700. And of course, every JPEG differs in size because of the complexity of the image. So a very simple image that has a lot of blue sky, like this 0229 here, I bet there's a lot of blue sky, or there's not a whole lot of complexity in that image. Whereas this #1 image up here must have a lot of stuff in it, like probably the spark and stuff like that. So yeah, you can see this is roughly the image size as far as data rate that you're going to be dealing with. I was going to see like this Fender logo. This is zoomed in 100% again to see how the zoom works on my amp. Remember, I think I was sitting back. I was going to see, here's just the pickup on a guitar wood grain. You can see it, and until you start to zoom into the highest pixel level, you start doing pixel peeping, you can see it's just not as good as a regular Sony or Nikon or Canon camera. We go to 100%, you'll see a little bit of JPEG artifact type stuff in there. So I'm going to step back out of this one. I might take a look at a couple more. See, here's one in my house. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, once again, it's probably at least as good as what you shoot with your iPhone or something. And it's a large image, 21 megapixel image. See anything else here that looks interesting to look at? That's my view down toward Charlotte. It's a little hazy off in the background. Trying to see anything else here that looks like it'd be decent to look at. Just shooting across my backyard. Let's see how these trees look. I got closer to those trees, I think. Let's see if I didn't just, yeah, like this. Let's see what like the pine cones in these trees look like. And you can see pine cones up in there. But look, see the little bit of JPEG artifacting around in the blues here. It's really doing a lot of compression. So folks, I don't know if there's a camera raw version you can shoot with this camcorder for photos. I love the camcorder for video, and I'll probably shoot a lot of photos with it too, just because it's nice to have the photos. The photos are much larger than 4K. So it would be, I'll definitely shoot this, but I don't think this still is going to replace my DSLRs. I mean, like I say, even a Nikon D5200, D5100, D3200, 3300, they're still going to shoot a superior image to that. I'm a Nikon type guy. Those of you who like Canon or you know, any of the others, even the Sonys, I mean, you can trust the Sony DSLR. They're going to shoot fantastic. So this is no indictment about Sony products, just that this camcorder does not shoot, I would say, superior level photos, but pretty darn good. You know, scale of 1 to 10, I give it about a 6.5 or 7. My Nikon cameras, I'm going to give about a 9.5. They shoot just great photos. So anyway, take that for what you want. I will post these photos to my SmugMug and put a link in the description, so you can go and, without YouTube compression and without the constraints or confines of Snagit, you can actually download these original photos and take a look at them yourself, see if this camcorder might be for you or if it would work for your photo needs. Thanks for watching, folks. Peace to all who are out there. Subscribe if you like.